Hello, my name is Thiago Eichner. I am a independent graphic designer and art director, focused on spatial experience design and communication design. And I'm also a teacher at Shillington. And I have here with me Margo Mafra Spencer. Margo,
Hi,
how's it going?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Amazing. Margo, you graduated August 2025. So
hmm
less than a year ago.
Yeah, like about 7 months ago at this point. Yeah.
Okay. And how has been life treating you after Shillington?
Every day, I'm not kidding, every day I wake, this is what I dreamed of a year ago or 2 years ago. Like being able to be a creative and being paid for it is just my dream. And I wake up every day very, very grateful and feeling very blessed.
Oh, that is amazing to hear. Yes. And you work really hard for that, right? I said
Oh
this to
yeah.
you during class, and I say this to you every time that we meet up. You had such a diligence about everything that you wanted to learn, and you really didn't make any economy in giving us your best ups.
Yeah.
Have you ever been someone that was like really organized, focused to the training, or did Shillington was a different journey?
When I'm passionate about something, I give everything. And that's when I am the most organized, I'm the most vigilant. And that's what it was for graphic design for me. It's like, I'm paying money to do this. I'm paying out of my own pocket, things, money that I've saved. I've dropped my job from before. I have no other choice than to give my all in this because I'm going to make the absolute most of it. So yeah, I work really hard and like long hours and like watch a ton of YouTube videos off when I wasn't in class and still continue to. And yeah, because it's just now, this is my life. And if I put more into it, then I'm going to get more out of it.
That's it. Margot, what were you doing before Shillington?
So I had kind of like an unorthodox track. I
Just wait a
studied
second. Wait
psychology
a second. Sorry. Is the New York City
with
sirens? They are all
sirens.
hitting me. So let's try this again. What were you doing before Shillington?
I had a pretty unorthodox track. I studied psychology in college, and then I became a teacher with Teacher America right after
Oh,
that. And then I transitioned into being a technical writer for a biotech company. And I just was like jumping out of my skin. I needed to be creative. And so that's when I decided I think that I love design, and I researched a ton of different design programs, graphic design programs, and Shillington really stood out to me. It seemed like it had a lot of positive real life reviews. Like I scoured Reddit for all of the different programs, and everyone said Shillington is the best. So I jumped in with
I
Shillington.
think you made the right decision.
Oh my gosh, I do too. Thank goodness I made this decision. It's genuinely changed my life for the better.
Margot, does that mean that before Shillington, you had no knowledge of like design software or like design
Yeah.
principles? How was it?
Yeah. Okay. So before Shillington, I played around in Illustrator. Didn't
Uh,
know that InDesign existed. I knew Photoshop existed, but I was way too scared to touch it. So I'd make some illustrations in Illustrator, but other than that, I had no knowledge of the Adobe Suite, no knowledge of Figma, didn't even know that it existed. And then in terms of design principles, gosh, even in Shillington, it was such a big learning curve of getting to where I am now. And yeah, I knew that I loved when things looked beautiful, but I didn't know what it was that was making them look so good.
Design principles.
hmm
Okay, and then you had a very particular experience with Shillington, right? Because you started in the part time and then you switched to the full time.
hmm
You had the opportunity to be with different, right? You had an array of
Yeah.
different teachers helping you out. Can you talk a little bit about how was this experience in course for you?
My experience with all of the different teachers was really, I think it's kind of funny. Be, the circumstances that made me switch were not the greatest, but I think of it as a blessing in a way because I got so much knowledge from each teacher that I had. So I had, yeah. So, each of you have like such a distinct way of teaching and different skill sets that you bring to the table. So I've learned like UX design from Sonia, a lot of like creative, like how to be like pull your creativity out from you and other things from my other teachers. And it was so interesting to see your different styles and to like be able to learn from all of you in different ways.
My God, and you do that. I think you are definitely a combination of all of the people that help you get there, but furthermore, the diligence. I think that that's a very important thing when it comes to design. And sometimes people just don't understand like the goal for creativity cannot be more important than the goal for clarity, right? Then the design is
Mhm.
efficient.
Oh, yeah. Yes. The process is something that I've learned. The process of like getting to that creative idea is something that I learned in Shillington and I take with me now in my freelance work. It's just whenever I feel lost in my current freelance work, I'm like, wait, did I do it the Shillington way? Then I go back, I do the Shillington way, and then it's so much clearer. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, Margot, let's take a look at some of your work and some of the things that you did during class. I would love for you to take me through a project. And what I will ask you is share a little bit of the background of what the project was, and then guide us through how did you started the process where you go through some of the feedback, the transformation, the things that you try. And then let's take a look at the final result of the project as well. And while
Okay.
you are transitioning the page and moving around and showing us, feel free to share your thoughts and anything that comes to it. But set the
Okay.
picture also. Let us know what is it that we are looking.
Okay. So I'll share my Figma file from portfolio time. Would that work?
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay. So this is the Figma file from portfolio time. Um, the project that I chose to show you is the corporate rebrand. So basically we find uh, a nationally or internationally recognized corporation that we think that would benefit from a rebrand. I found that I was in New York City and I found that a lot of people were complaining about the MTA and just a lot of complaints, a lot of like jaded attitudes about the MTA. But I personally was thinking, maybe it's because I was new to New York, but I was thinking, this is a system that it transports millions of people a day. It runs 24 hours a day, and it's only now it's $3, but it's only $3 to get all the way across town, there and back, whatever. And I was thinking, like, we are taking for granted how incredible this system is. So I wanted to make a brand identity or rebrand identity for the MTA. And so I wanted it to show how people spend their time on trains or buses or public transport, which is usually listening to music, reading, scrolling on their phone, napping. We're never worried about, are we going to crash? Are we going to get there? It's always that just goes to show how reliable and efficient this system is, even when it's carting millions of people a day and it's such an intricate system. So anyway, I wanted to show how we wait, redo. I wanted to show how reliable the system is by how we behave on the system. So the concept that I came up with was mind wander. It's like a concept inspired by the inner thoughts of people passing time quietly on public transportation because of the safety and trust that they have on that system. It lets them think about anything other than whether they'll make it on time, whether they will crash, be safe, whatever. Um, so this is the original design concept that I had, or the brand board. This was a lot. It was heavy with tone of voice. It's letting your mind wander. We've got it covered. And it was kind of having like a cheeky attitude, like thinking about that beautiful moment when everyone laughed at your joke earlier on the train, and not whether you'll make it to your dentist appointment. So that was kind of like the base, the core of what the identity was for this. But I felt like in portfolio time, I realized, and with Chiago and Sonia, I realized that it could be a lot more corporate feeling, because this is such an institution, and it needs to appeal to all New Yorkers. So how do you even appeal to such a wide range of people? And so yeah, so let's see. I decided I wanted to have it more clear, more like, if you see this brand, this is Orbit. That's what I decided to call it. This is Orbit. If you see the colors, you know it's Orbit. If you see the type, you know it's Orbit. And you can see yourself in Orbit too, because that's one of my brand values that I wanted to pull through, is connection, because that's really what New York is about and what public transport is about. So let's see. So the new mood boards for this, it's pulling in that concept of mind wander, but to make it more corporate, I really liked the idea of having really bold text, really bold type, just so, because people are passing by quickly on the streets and they can quickly see it, read it in a split second and keep going, but it still like sticks in your mind. I think that like Nike does this beautifully. I have some inspiration from Nike and some of these other brands here, or campaigns here. And then also, because things would be changing from the MTA, I mean, it is such an institution and people know it so well, I didn't want to change too much. So obviously there are like so many colors in the MTA system, because it's like showing all the bus lines, the train lines, ferry lines, etc. And if you switch around those colors, everyone's going to be confused and it'll be mayhem. So in order to keep that like the same, like I wanted to keep the colors rooted in the same colors, but have a more safer feeling when you look at it or you interact with the brand. So instead of like a white, I wanted like a cream, or for example, let's see, each of these colors here, like with the BDFM, maybe pull it back a little bit, like soften the colors a little bit. And that's what I did for each of those different lines. And then for making a huge corporate brand that's supposed to appeal to like such a huge audience of young, old, different socioeconomic statuses, whatever it may be, I was thinking, let's just show like the average person, someone that you can see yourself as in a train setting, in a bus setting, and doing exactly what we all do. When you're sitting in the train, you see it all the time. It's like we're just passing time on the train together, closing our eyes, taking a moment's rest, or reading a book, or whatever it may be. So I decided that I would love to have photography showing exactly that. So here are people just sleeping on the train, and having like that intimate moment, even when it's just even when there's so much happening, even when it's such a big corporation, they're seeing you as a person riding those trains, riding those buses. So yeah, so that's how I got to what I'm going to show you now, which is the updated.
Can can we take a look up close to some of these beautiful thumbnails you have there? And then if you want to talk to me about
Here?
yeah, the thumbnails, are you still doing things on paper? How is your process nowadays? Do you still
Yeah,
carry
yeah, yeah.
that?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way I would be able to design without writing things out. I do this for logos. I do thumbnailing. This is what I learned in Shillington. And I try to keep it's so much work on the computer that I try to keep tactile things in my life, like using pen and paper and I mean thumbnailing like this. So yeah, so these are thumbnails. So in Shillington you learn how to quickly iterate different orientations of the design. And so this probably was a 10-minute timer, and quickly I did all these little thumbnails, like about what the dimensions would be and where I would put the text, what I would have, how big the photo would be, how small, where everything goes. So I haven't looked at these in a long time. But I guess here, yeah, I was thinking like maybe I would have like a 3-poster sequence for the campaign, maybe 4-poster sequence. Have it very text heavy, just all text on one and then a photo on the next one. Yeah. Billboard is here. And then here it's the beginning of the on computer exploration. So there's no colors, maybe a fill-in picture, maybe not even. And just seeing like what the typeface that I would be using, where I would usually I would have grids on these screenshots, but like where in the grids I would put them, what the type setting would be, like whether it be left justified, like center, maybe like fully justified. What is that called? Completely?
Yeah, justify. And you did so many
Yeah,
experimentations.
justified.
It's so lovely.
So
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Here's colors that I found that work really well with keeping the feeling of like safety while also staying with that the colors of the original brand. And then this is some logo experimentation. I really struggled with the logo. I was kind of I was kind of in this world for a little bit and I just could not feel like I did not feel like it was corporate enough. And I worked with Thiago and he said, scrap it and try again. And then so I found a font that I really liked and then changed it a little bit to make it I don't know, have this is the logo I ended up with, and I feel like it has this I like feeling of speed but also sturdiness. Although this R&B isn't technically anything like it's not like a drawing or image or anything like that or symbol. It kind of gives me the essence of like a bus or a train or something like that.
And
We
we,
did,
we also we also made some edits to that, right? We
yes,
created a
actually, I'm realizing that, yeah, this is the one that we ended up doing is to have some of that space there, between the R
definitely
and B.
legibility, right? It just pushes the
Yes,
legibility to the next level.
totally. Yeah, so that's what we ended up with, or I guess I did with Tiago's help. I really feel like that grounds it in like a corporate identity, and I can see this on not only like billboards and posters and signage, but also like on legal documents and like other more corporate things like slide decks, things like that. So, okay, let's see. So then I started iterating the posters with the colors because I had those decided already. And then this is concept work. So I used AI. I used Midjourney to like mock up some images in a real campaign. I would use a real photographer, but in this case, this is what I had available to me. So I mocked up these images of people sleeping on the trains. And at first it was all center aligned, the text. And I thought that looked good. But then talking with Thiago, we thought, okay, what would happen if we justified the text? And then I played around with justifying the text on the left-hand side or on the left poster. And I thought, one, this makes it a very distinct branding. And two, it kind of shows speed, movement with the combination of this font or typeface that's like grounded and still sure of itself. So I thought that justified text with this grounded typeface really gives the feeling of exactly what Orbit is meant to make you feel. Like, we know what we're doing. We are efficient, we're fast, and we're good at what we do. And we're always moving. And with us, you can keep moving too. So we did this. We tried it out on the left side and then thought, okay, we might have to do it completely. Everything justified. And I really like the way it looks. It really makes it very distinct when you see this on the street. Even if you don't read the words, you in the corner of your eye, even if you're not even looking, you know, oh, that's an Orbit poster or that's an Orbit campaign. So that's what my goal was. And I
Can we
think that,
can we see some of this beautiful tone of voice up close?
oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I guess the tone of voice is still in there that I mentioned earlier. So this is, let's see. So this is Lucia headed to work. Public transport so efficient that she forgot to worry. This is Kate on the F train. Public transit so reliable that he fell asleep. It's just showing like this is you. This is the average person on this public transportation, and you see yourself in this. And look at what this action that you're doing shows about our public transport. Like, you're sleeping on the train. Can't you tell? Like, can't you see now you feel so safe that you want to sleep on the train? You're not worried about anything else. So that's what the goal of this tone of voice, and this copy was. Kevin on his way home, public transit's so reliable, he read his book. And then there are the posters with no images. Public transit, so reliable, of course. So efficient, totally. Has AC in the subway cars? Yes.
Yes.
So it's like
that is some love. That is some love for New York City, like right there.
Yeah. Yes. So it's like, okay, they're like tooting their own horn. It's like, yeah, we're on top of everything. Our other posters are saying we're efficient and we're safe. On top of that, we also care about you. We're gonna give you some AC, or like in other like more rollout I might do, like has Omni tap to pay. Like we're making things more efficient for you. We care about you. We know that you have so much other stuff going on that you need to feel safe and that you're taking care of with us. So yeah. Oh, also, I've been in Europe for the past couple of years, or I was for a couple of years, and they don't run 24/7 their transit system. So I was thinking, we take this so for granted.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to say that it's so reliable, of course, so efficient, totally, but runs all night long. Thank goodness. As when it's 11 p.m. or 2 a.m. and you need to get home across town. It's a different story when the trains aren't running. Okay, so should I keep going?
Yeah, Margot, it's great to see also this from far away, because the moment that you resolve those posters, you are back into the pen and paper right there, right? Thumbnailing again, like discover how the app has to run, and the other pieces of rollout that you did. This is
Yeah.
it's so beautifully done in terms of process. But I think that at this stage, I really want us to give it the full scope of that brand. So why don't you share now the portfolio presentation that you put together within the complete?
Uh, so should I show you
You
my
can even
website portfolio?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is what my portfolio website has for Orbit. We have the brand board here.
We are not seeing it. You still sharing Figma.
Oops. Okay. So this is my portfolio website with the Orbit project. So I have the brand board here, just showing the colors, the typeface, the typesetting, types of photos that we use in rollout and in campaign, and just kind of making it cute with the subway in the background. And then showing what it would look like on a real mocked up in like a real subway station with the grimy subway station. And then here's it's rollout of some posters, just showing how it would be in real life. And it's really cool to see it. You learn this in Shillington, how to mock things up. And it's really cool to see it, what it would look like in real life rather than just in the InDesign file or whatever it may be. Then here's the app that would be associated with Orbit, just like a transit app in the same branding. Also in Shillington, you learn how to do some motion design in Figma. So this is showcasing that, what it would look like in a subway station. And then some for fun, a uniform of what an Orbit works. So that's Orbit.
How has been the reception after you graduated? You have been going to interviews, you have been getting freelance work. What has been the scenery after you graduated?
The reception has honestly been great. I mean, of course, my family and friends have said like great things about it, but also when I've reached out to a lot of graphic designers since then, people who have been in the industry for a long time, and just for advice and help navigating the world after Shillington. And I've had really great positive feedback on my portfolio, the work. I mean, I've gotten a few clients from that. In fact, I even went to a client or was talking to a person without hoping to I was just talking to her about her work. She was in the design world, but in interior design. And I sent her my portfolio just so she can pass it along to other people. And she messaged me saying, wait a second, I want you to design for me. And so now she's one of my clients. So that's just goes to show how the portfolio, the Shillington, that just goes to show how all the work that we put into Shillington and in the portfolio time, it is a lot of work, but it really does prepare you for the outside world, and it does genuinely impress people. So
Yes, Margot, this was excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time and for sharing. And I also want to tell you, to finish this up, the beautiful thing about replicating the studio environment in the classroom, which was what Shillington does, right? You replicate that is structure, that is speed. So then you guys get from day one the experience of being working designer, right? What I love about that is that that also allows a back and forth between the teachers and the students. And as much as you had learned from us, God bless, you have taught us so much with your diligence, your perspective and focus on the training. So you as well for making me a better designer, a better teacher. And I know that
Thank you.
Sonia and all the folks that you met here would 100% back me up and agree on this in this
Oh,
thank you
thank
moment.
you. That's so nice. Yeah, it's been life changing, and I'm so grateful to all of you.